Hello everyone, and welcome to Lesser Hall's Session 6. I know it's been a while since we've last met, for which I do apologize, but hey, scheduling monster plus Thanksgiving plus weddings plus everything. Hopefully we'll be more regular. Knock on wood, quote unquote. I don't really have much in the way of announcements, other than the fact that if you are watching this live, next Monday, there will be the new Avatar campaign that I'm running. That's at 9 p.m. Definitely would recommend, if you're a fan of Avatar The Last Airbender or Korra, come check it out, have some fun. It'll be a good time. But I don't really have much to say other than that, so let's just have everyone introduce themselves, and then we'll jump into play. So, Drill, let's start with you.
Hi, I'm Drilling. I play Ensign Keela, the Zahian engineer.
Hello, I'm Picardi. I play Ensign Thriller. I play Ensign Thriller.
I'm C4A, and I play Ensign Gemma Simmons, the Zabolian engineer.
There you go. So, since it has been a while, I thought I'd give a somewhat brief recap to bring everybody back up to speed. So, long story short, you guys are towing a Tholian vessel at the moment. It is a Tholian hospital ship. And in general, you have been, shall we say, through the ringer already, just already getting everything working as it should. There were some vent shenanigans, there were some questionable decisions when it came to walking on walls, shall we say. There was also the discovery of, I guess you would call it an ooze, a creature that was eating part of the ship's structure and threatened to even eat the USS Phoenix as well, but you handled that no problem. And in general, you've basically been running around this Tholian ship solving all the problems that you would think Tholians would know how to handle, but apparently their engineers aren't that great. So it's kind of fallen to you as Starfleet and to the Phoenix, and specifically you all, to fix things. So where we're going to start today's session proper is about a day after the ooze incident. At this point, you guys have pulled a double shift, and you're all meeting up in your little corner of the Phoenix, that Jeffries tube way in the back of the ship. And you're just coming off shift, and I wanted to give this opportunity for you guys to not only roleplay, but maybe develop your characters a little bit more, because it's one of those things where when you're on the job, you don't get as much development as you might in a Jeffries tube, as weird as that sounds. But I wanted to give you guys kind of that moment before I started throwing things at you to decompress, get back into the swing of things, etc., etc. So, as a reminder, since it has been a while, your Jeffries tube in the very back of the ship is one of the very rare locations that is actually off sensors. So there are no listening devices in here. There are no sensors in here other than the ones that you've carted in. You have personalized the space somewhat. If I remember correctly, you have things like Christmas lights up. You have spaces to work on engineering equipment. And Tesla Montgomery is also there. So, yeah. But yeah, that's your scene, and why don't we take it from there?
So Keela is probably curled up on her little pillow thing with TM stretched out beside her, and she's actually taking a nap.
Solaris is probably listening to music, but with like a personal device, so she's not bothering anybody.
Out of curiosity, what kind?
Something with a fast beat, like.
So Klingon death metal?
I was thinking the same thing.
That's too slow.
Yeah, if EDM continues into, which it should, so.
It should, yeah. I don't see why it would stop. All right. And what about Thriller? What's Thriller doing?
I think I like to avoid people, so I'm avoiding the doctor's office after getting that nice, interesting character development, or scar, as we call it.
For the folks at home, since it has been a while, what does it look like? What does this scar look like exactly?
So, where did it open up? Where would it be most interesting?
Well, that's why I'm asking. It's your call here.
Yeah.
Your scar.
Yeah. Maybe it's on my leg, so I now have a little limp when I walk.
Okay.
Hmm.
But I'm doing my own first aid on it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Your +2 was like, yeah, that's good enough.
Yeah. Actually, that is true. I do literally have just a +2.
Same. We're the highest ones with a +2.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as you guys are relaxing in your space to sort of give you something to bounce off of, there's a momentary loss of gravity. And I would say that maybe, I'll let you make the ultimate call on this drill, but I like to imagine the loss of gravity might be something that will wake Keela up, if not TM up. But the loss of gravity doesn't last very long. It's maybe about 15, 30 seconds. And then, unless you guys throw things at the ceiling, you just sort of settle back down when gravity returns. But there is, again, sort of that moment of weightlessness, and everything floats just a little bit, but then it goes back to normal.
So Keela would probably wake in a start and then scramble, probably end up throwing TM across the room at float over, obviously, because she's suddenly scrambling, and she probably screams and then freezes until they're settled back down.
You're right.
Was I flying? I was flying, but that was dream. This isn't dream. And she'll kind of feel the walls.
They're real.
No, it's very real.
Someone hit me. Is this real? She's really disoriented.
Sure?
If you don't hit me, I'll hit you.
Okay. She kind of smack on the arm.
Okay, this is real.
I just kept going.
Okay, so what was that? What happened?
I'm not sure.
Has it happened before in this ship? I know some ships have areas where sometimes the gravity is not the best.
I mean, that would be fun, but I don't think that's useful. I don't think that's a good function.
All of a sudden on Solaris's playlist, the song Gravity starts playing. She's just like, don't do that.
And then suddenly Keela. No, go ahead.
Did anyone bring any equipment to, diagnose this sort of situation? Or
I'm sure we have some lying around. Feel free to.
All right.
And Keela will reach for
Pick it
her
up.
tricorder, realize it's the phaser, and then grab the tricorder out of her other pocket. And then do some maybe basic scans.
I'll give this to you free. Well, why don't we roll just to get you back into the swing of things? It's going to be a reason engineering. The difficulty is 0, so free momentum for you.
Yay.
Yay.
Momentum.
Oops.
Have focus starship construction.
Definitely apply.
Hey,
There's your one success. Oh, hey, Watney with the sub. Thanks, Watney.
buddy.
All right, so with 1 momentum and 1 success, again, very easy thing to diagnose. The gravity plating, the magical starship technology, which is actually more important and more, science breaking than transporters are, if you can wrap your head around that for a moment. The grav plating is on the fritz, is what I would say. It appears that one of the main power conduits that feeds the grav plating, it's kind of one of those things where it's like a loose wire in an engine or in a battery where you're just kind of getting a short. Very easy fix, but it does mean you have to pull up the floor of your little junction box.
Would those scans show that it's just our area, or would it have been ship-wide?
Just your area.
Okay.
So she'll relay information. She's like, but it was just here. So I mean, do we need to fix it?
I mean, I personally don't want things rolling around where they shouldn't be. Fortunately, I've installed these little cubbies that at this time it wasn't the case, but who knows what could happen next time.
And while I've been grown up on ships and stuff that had this situation in lots of places, I do not want to relive those situations. So let's fix it.
Okay, and Keela's really disappointed because she likes anti-gravity stuff.
I mean, if you want me to smack you every time you think you're dreaming, I mean,
We can set up so
otherwise we should
That's-
probably fix the panel.
I just
And
like
if-
floating, all right?
That's
and if
fair.
you really want
Fun.
to, we can set it up so that we can turn it off and on when you want to.
Can we? She's just like so excited. She's a little child.
But you have to do
Can
it.
we really? Okay. Keela will go to fix it.
All right, so let's pull up that plating.
So I'm actually going to spend 2 threat to make the complication that the plating that you need to get to is underneath Solaris's meticulously kept cubbies.
That's hilarious. They're under there. Are they on wheels? Can we just,
You know, yes. Yes, because if the chairs in the conference room are on wheels, who's to say that these cubbies aren't on wheels? So she'll unlock the wheels.
Are they retractable so they just like come down? You can
Like she pushes a button and like little panels open up and it's like hydraulics that just kind of raises
Yeah.
the cubby holes a little bit. We broke C4.
Okay.
Good job, everybody.
These have wheels! And Keela's like, whoa! And she'll just start like moving them gently. Because she
Okay.
knows she doesn't want to wreck Solaris's organization.
That is correct. Thank you.
All right. With the cubby holes moved out of the way, you're able to pull up the plating, and what you see in comical fashion, because we have to have more humor, because why not? You
Oh,
see
no.
4 wires
This is
before
lesser
you.
holes.
I thought you were going to tell me more coffee cups. I was like,
Well, I mean, there are those. I think that's a given at this point. It's like why would you pull up anything and not find coffee cups? But no, you see 4 wires before you. There's a red one, a blue one, a red one, and a yellow one. So primary colors plus yellow. And what you're noticing, to kind of give a description of where the wires is, I don't know if any of you have ever been on like a sailboat, but when you pull up one of the deck panels underneath where the engine or the battery is located, it's almost like a trench. It's a recession in the floor, maybe about a foot to half a foot deep. Metric conversion, somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 centimeters. I think that's about right. So 10 centimeters to about 20 centimeters, somewhere in that range. But it's smooth, not plastic in this instance, but it's smooth metal, the walls of this trench. And what you're noticing is that each of the 4 wires I just mentioned is shorting out, because every time it touches one of the walls or one of the panels or anything like that, that's where it's shorting, because that's where it's cutting off electricity. It's trying to go into the walls, if you're following me so far.
Set this up.
we got any? There should be some duct tape in one of those bins. Go ahead and pick whatever color you like. We can wrap this up.
Keela
Bin
looks
12,
through
row A.
one of the bins.
No sticky situations here.
Excuse me. Keela will look through the bin for some duct tape. Colorful.
Now, I have an important question for Solaris. Is it filed under D for duct tape or T for tape?
A for adhesive.
I was gonna say
yeah?
Keela's gonna look for A for adhesive,
Yeah,
regardless of where.
So you do not find a coffee cup, because coffee cups do not belong in adhesive. But
That's
what you do
correct.
find, and feel free to flavor this differently if you want, Solaris, but I like to imagine there's blue duct tape. It's more like painter's tape. There's
Mhm.
classic duct tape, which is the silver, and then
Mhm.
there's flex tape, which is that kind of big, thick black kind.
Mhm.
And then there's space tape, which is duct tape of the future. It's also hot pink, so do with it what you
Excellent. Yep. In there's also Velcro.
will. Ooh.
There is also that medical white tape.
Okay, yes.
There's a few magnets.
How do they work?
How do they work?
Yeah, they're magnets. How do they work?
They would adhere to a magnetic surface.
Oh, I see. You. Okay, that's me trying to make a joke. I apologize. Nobody? Okay, we're gonna move on. Moving on.
I might get it later while I'm thinking about it.
It's an ICP song. If you know ICP, Insane Clown Posse, they're like, magnets. How do they work? It's a meme. I'm old.
Sorry.
I'm
No.
sorry, we don't get it. Check
It's
that
fine. It's fine. I'll just be an old internet denizen over here in the corner.
Sorry.
It's fine. Anyway, so yeah, you've got your magnets. Anything else?
What else?
Some sort of sticky substance.
Yeah, back in the 20th century they called it, I think it was tacky gum.
Tacky gum?
That's in there. I don't know why that still exists, but it's still there because that stuff tends to melt.
Glue stick.
Glue
Like the ones you had
sticks,
at
glue
school.
bottles, hot glue gun.
Hot glue gun?
That
Okay.
one she debated on for a while. She was like, should I just leave the sticks in there and then put hot glue gun under like heated
Weapons.
materials? She goes back and forth with that one.
You have one in each place.
Yeah.
So with all these adhesives, what are you going to
Uh-huh.
use to fix the wiring problem?
Either the duct tape, or I guess it's up to sorry, I just forgot what your character's name is. Keela. It's up to whichever one she tosses at me.
She's gonna throw you to tacky. Because that's she saw it. It was like, ooh, what's this here?
This is just so you know, this is like a step up from Play-Doh in stickiness, which is
I
almost
don't
not
know.
at all.
What Play-Doh is?
She's gonna toss it back and be like, one more time.
Another one
Towards the
then.
middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
She'll grab the hot glue stick. This one?
One more
No,
time.
okay. And then she'll grab the space tape.
Sure, that'll work.
There we go. Got it.
Thanks.
Third time's a charm.
Mhm.
So
Like,
Solaris,
I know the trick about the future space tape.
Yeah.
You have a little device, you can roll it over, it becomes unsticky. And then you roll it again, it becomes super sticky.
Whoa.
that is now canon.
All
Yeah.
right. Done.
Why is that?
Right?
Hey, where did you get this? Because I need my own stock.
I picked it up on my travels. I mean, you're welcome to check the records. It's over on a shelf on the other side. It's like a
Sure. She'll
well,
go
I
look.
guess it would be digitized at this point. So she also used to like to write it manually.
All right, well, Solaris, I'll throw something at Drill here as you're doing your task. But Solaris,
Okay.
how are you handling the shorting problem? And I might be going too far into engineering here, which if I am, just yell at me, I'll stop. But since I was kind of electrical engineer for a little bit, I know a little bit. So basically the way you fix a short is you either replace the wire or you stop the short from happening. So it's kind of like if you imagine like jumper cables for a car, you never touch the ends together. That's what the short is ends of bare metal are touching together. So how are you going to be solving this problem with the space tape, as it were?
Well, she wouldn't be touching it with her bare hands. First
Okay, that
of
was
all.
a very important thing you just said. Carry on.
Let's see. So it's like, I'm assuming the wires have like, would they have the plastic covering over it, and so parts of it have worn away or whatever, and that's what's
Correct.
touching the walls. And
Correct.
okay, so I guess individually with protective gloves or whatnot would try to wrap the wires.
I also give her a rubber mat for insulation, so she can just heal on that.
Oh,
Good call.
that works too.
All right, so Solaris, I want you to roll me a fitness and engineering here, because I imagine you have big, thick gloves on, and you're trying to wrap up these small little wires. It's a fitness engineering. The difficulty on this will just be a 1. You do have
Okay.
1 momentum at your disposal at the moment.
Could I use my jury rigging focus?
I'll give it to you, sure.
Okay.
2 successes.
Yeah.
You get another momentum, so you're up to 2. Very
Yay.
nice. So, yeah, you kind of finagle a little bit of wrapping around the loose wire and the frayed wire, and you run the device, which we need to come up with a name for this device, but you basically run the device over the tape. The tape becomes adhesive and sticks to itself, and after a moment, you replace the panel, and graft plating's working fine.
All right. That should do it.
You need to add that one addition. The button.
Okay.
Oh yeah, turn it off and on.
Okay. We'll write that on the whiteboard over there, and we'll add that. We'll make that on our list of things to do.
There's a lot of
Not with
things to do.
Not with the permanent marker this time, Keela.
And she'll be like, oh right, okay, and then she'll grab something else, not the right one, and go to do it again.
No, not the graphite pencil. That won't show up.
Okay, I thought I had the right one. Okay, and then she'll grab the right one this time.
Okay.
And yellow. She'll get a yellow color.
Okay.
Is it literally a whiteboard, by the way? Like, I'm imagining like this, not like teacher size, but almost like door size, where it's like maybe
A decent sized literal whiteboard. Yeah.
Right. So, out of curiosity, and again, I'm mostly doing this scene for flavor because you got to have these moments of levity. What else is on the whiteboard right now?
A tally of how many coffee cups they've found.
Do you have enough room for that?
She can write very small.
Okay.
Obviously a list of things to do.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps there was a message from, who was that other person we had met in the Jeffries tube?
Probably Crewman Cole.
Okay, yeah, they had left a message for us on their passing through.
It's like a message system. We've been writing back and forth, and it's sort of
Yeah.
becoming one of the side
When we
things.
don't meet up, it's a message board.
Or instead of a message, maybe it's a game of old Terran Hangman.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. I like it. I like it. You may have 1 momentum for all that amusing
Yes.
that amusing image in my head. All right, I
And
love
then
it.
if the other two have any other further ideas for, perhaps a few recipe suggestions for programming into the replicators for future meals.
Love it.
Very nice.
And some
McCarty,
equations.
And some
Sorry,
what?
what was that?
Some math equations for like
Math.
Oh,
Math
okay.
equations.
Okay.
trying to figure out those little niggly parts
Sure.
of the engineer.
And just a little bit of quantum physics over here. Just be like, all right,
Just a little.
let's
Just casual mathematics.
Like, she's happy to install your own whiteboard, but he might say yes. I don't know, but he might have just been like, nah, it's fine.
I'm in the middle of this right now.
It's like I don't know if any of you have ever seen A Beautiful Mind, but it's like where he's at, is it Harvard or Princeton he goes to? I forget. But
I don't
basically,
remember.
there's a character that he takes like soap and he writes over all the library windows, like
Yeah.
just these sprawling equations, and it's like, why would you do that? Like, why?
In fact, I
Why
got some
not is the
paper.
better question.
I got some paper sticking to the bottom, which just continues some equations.
Going off the whiteboard.
Nice. Well, as all this is happening and you're putting the panels back in place, you're putting the cubby holes back where they originally were, you actually get a chirp on the communicator just outside of the room where the monitoring and the Jeffries tube actually starts, because you're technically at the end, so yes, you are starting the Jeffries tube. But you get a chirp, and it's from Commander Baker, your favorite person in the whole wide world. He says, well, hello there. Are you three there?
Commander Baker. Yes, sir.
Well, I hate to ask you all to do a triple shift, but We have a bit of a situation on the Tholian ship right now, and let's just say I think you all are uniquely qualified for this.
I feel like I've been hearing that a lot.
Yeah, I've done
Well,
multiple.
to be fair, you're one of the few engineers that we can spare right now. Apparently, that goo creature nanomachine thing that you got rid of last time, about yesterday. Apparently, it's doing a number in engineering, so you're all we can spare right now.
Seem to do a lot of triple shifts in this ship.
Well,
If I got paid, I would be hoping for triple pay, but you know.
well, I do have a bit of a good news there. The captain has approved extended holodeck time whenever you have a moment of free time. But yeah, I think until this Tholian ship is finally back to Deep Space October, it's going to be a bit of a work.
Say no more! Keela will grab TM under her arm and she's out of there.
I'm a holo engineer. I get stuck in the holographic field all the time. I think I'll try to avoid it next for a little bit when I go on the holiday.
All right. Well, we'll make our way over there, Commander.
Thank you. Commander out. All right. So, skipping ahead just a little bit, you all beam back over to the Tholian hospital ship in your EV suits. You've double-checked your EV suits for proper air supply, proper sealing. You've done your homework, especially after last time. And when you arrive, you immediately spot the problem. And maybe spot's not the right word as you feel the problem. Because when you beam in to weightlessness. As in, you beam in, and then you're floating midair. And what you see is, again, those hexagonal sort of walls that are, kind of arrayed in such a way that I forget the actual term for it, but it's a 3D hexagon where there's a name for it. I just don't remember the solid name. But Tholians are flying through the air. Well, I say flying. They're more drifting haphazardly through the air, which if you haven't seen a Tholian, I'll remind you they're basically crystal spiders that live at like 400 degrees Kelvin, so they're hot spiders floating through the air. There's bits of equipment that are floating through the air. There is a panel from one of the walls that's just floating by. There is a... I'm drawing a blank on what this thing's called. Cylinder, power cell, that's the word I want. There's a few power cells floating through the air. And in general, it just looks like a tornado has come through here if the tornado worked in 0G, if that makes any sense. But as you beam into this, and you take a look around, one of the Tholians floating by you recognize as Lieutenant Lesline, who you worked with last time. And Lesline says, "Oh, hello. As you can see, we've had a problem with our gravity plating."
Huh.
I can see that.
And the device, her Solaris's music device, then switches over to Defying Gravity from Wicked, and she's just like, why does this keep happening?
Nice.
Keela, on the other hand, is having the time of her life. She's grabbed TM and like hooked TM to her belt so that they're together, but it can extend. And she's just kind of enjoying flying around.
Okay. Is the whole ship like this?
Yeah, that's kind of why we called you in, because we can fix the grav plating on our own, but since it's across the entire ship and we're a hospital ship, you probably see why we need extra hands.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's go take a look.
All right, well, do you want to start here, or?
Where's the most dire need that needs to be fixed first? The wing, the patient room?
Are the patients like secured, or are they also floating around?
They're mostly floating around. Since it has been a while, I'll remind people. So the Okram is the name of the ship, and the Okram is... I'm trying to find it here. Here it is. There's 10 wards on the Okram, and each ward has about 20 beds, So rough math on that is 200 beds, 200 Tholians, if I can multiply my head correctly. But he said, Leslie kind of looks at you for a moment and says, that would be Ward 3, but I'd warn you, Ward 3 is where some of the mentally unstable Tholians are located.
Avoid Ward 3. I get you.
Well,
if it's all over the
shoot
ship,
them.
is there a central point where this could be happening, or is it just something that's cascaded?
True.
That
something
we're
we
not
gotta find
sure.
out
We're,
first.
we're thinking it's a cascade failure, but we haven't been able to nail down the actual cause. All we're really doing is running around trying to get it working long enough to strap people and equipment down.
Well, we might as well just start here. Then we can sort of try to find where the problem was, possibly.
Yep.
All right.
Pull out a scanner and start scanning away.
All right. Solaris, I'd like you to give me let's call this a reason engineering. Starship construction will definitely be a focus here.
I don't have starship construction.
One of you has starship construction, I think. Yeah, it's Keela that has it. Let me see. This will be a difficulty of 2, I think.
Could I use observation?
I'll give you that, sure.
Okay.
And by my count, you do have 3 momentum if you want to spend any.
And I'm sorry, the difficulty was what?
Difficulty of 2.
Can I have one of the momentum, guys?
Oh.
Okay, so let me redo that. It was reason engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Reason engineering.
Ooh, all right. A success, but a complication. Interesting. All right. So when you pull out your tricorder and you run a scan of the surrounding area, what you see, and this is kind of a callback to last episode, the grav plating is similar but unique. And what I mean by that is it's similar to the kind of grav plating that you literally just fixed moments ago back in the Jeffries tube. But it's different because it only works on a type of gravity that only works on Tholian equipment and actual Tholians. So that's why you couldn't walk on walls before.
Okay.
But the complication, where the complication comes in, you've never seen grav plating like this before. So what I'm going to say is, until you have like an aha moment, which will happen in role play or a good roll, and this is for everybody, until you have that aha moment, I'm going to say all grav plating related tasks will have a complication range of 18 to 20. Because again, it's unfamiliar equipment. You're not exactly sure how to interface with it. So consequences and complications might occur.
Tap potential.
Oh, yeah? Good
Yeah, I was
call on
just-
tap potential, since you did succeed.
Yep. Cool. I was just about to ask if, because we got a complication, if it still works. But
Yeah.
It was a success.
Yeah, that's the key thing, is it has to be a success.
Cool.
And as a reminder, that's a challenge die, if you remember where
Thank
that
you.
is.
So I am rolling that or no? Because
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yes.
are. Yeah,
Okay. I got 1.
Success with a complication is still a success.
And
And
you
it was
get your
an effect.
momentum right back. Very nice. You're back up at 3.
It was an effect, though, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I have my window.
Oh.
Yeah, so actually, you don't get the momentum back. I get a threat. Nice.
Sorry.
All right. But yeah, that's what you see on your tricorder.
And she'll relay that information and be like, not 100% sure how this all works, but this is what we're dealing with.
Okay.
Keela is like kind of doing a slow turn in front of you guys, and she's kind of got her feet in a stance, and she's like this, and TM's at her side, and she's just like starfishing next to you guys. She's like, she's
If
like
you get
really
too
thinking
far-
about it.
If you get too far, I subconsciously just grab you and just keep you in close by.
Yeah,
We
keep me
need
in
to-
the frame.
We need to get one of these like the extended dog leashes, like the ones that go out. We just need to have one of those on our belts, and then when she goes too far, we just reel her back in. But otherwise, you're kind of like a Macy's Day Parade balloon.
Pretty much, yeah.
She enjoys the gravity way too much.
Okay.
Okay. So
Should we try to repair it and see if it breaks again, or should we try to track what's connected to it? Maybe ask one of the engineers, like
I mean,
how they.
yeah, we can do that. Or
Yeah.
going
What-
piece by piece. I mean, yeah, I guess asking an engineer who would know their shit better, that would probably make more sense.
Leslie,
Yes.
we've got some ideas, but because it's your ship and it's your technology, can we ask one of your engineers about this stuff, like the technology here, so we can sort of hopefully trace back to where the problem could be?
I mean, I personally don't have a problem, but all our engineers are kind of strung thin at the moment.
I could assist one of them while they're doing their work.
Let me see. And Leslie pulls up a Tholian pad and begins tapping through it. If you don't mind taking a trip to Ward 7, Galatrium is needing a little bit of extra help there.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a plan. Do you guys want to come along, or do you want to keep looking here while I go talk to Galatrium? Split that party.
Keela is thinking about going to engineering itself to see what's going on there.
That could work.
I'm happy to go talk to an engineer too. She'd like to figure out how this works.
Okay, so you're going to engineering, you'll come with us, and we'll go together and we'll talk to Galatrium.
All right.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right.
And let's deal with Galatrium first. So when you enter into Ward 7, there is prism. That's the word I wanted earlier. So it's still that kind of hexagonal prism, but it's more of an extended prism, where instead of it all being hexagonal, part of the middle section, as it were, is elongated so that it's basically at either end it's a hexagon, but if you were to look down at the solid, it would be rectangles, if that makes sense. But on each of the walls, there are patient beds, quote unquote, where Tholians are either strapped down or in life support pods based on how severe their injuries are. And again, no gravity in here, as Solaris and Thriller, as you guys float into this space with Leslie ahead of you. And what you're noticing is that the medical equipment is not as haphazard as the room you came from. Most of the medical equipment has been nailed down or taped down or adhered to a wall to make sure it doesn't float off. Because as much as the Tholians don't appear to know how to fix their own ship, they do at least know how to make things not be worse than they are in a ward, if you're following me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Leslie floats you all over to a blue-colored Tholian and says, Galatrium, I brought some of the engineers from the Phoenix over. They want to talk to you. And Galatrium is currently like arm deep in a panel at this point, and without even turning around goes, "Well, what is it they want? What's so important that you have to bring Starfleet down here?"
Well, all your gravity's gone, so we thought we could lend a hand with that.
What's your name and rank?
I am Ensign Thriller.
Well, they should call you Captain Obvious, because of course the grav plating isn't working.
All right, my name is now Captain Obvious.
Very good, Captain.
Yeah, of course it's obvious. Look, we're here to try to help, and we want to know more about your system so we can help you. So if you don't want help, I could go. I've got plenty to do.
Help us help you.
Help us help you. There you go. All right, Thriller, and I'll say Solaris, you can assist on this if you want. Thriller, I'd like you to roll me a presence engineering difficulty of 3. So you want to spend some momentum here.
Use momentum. How many you want?
Well, I can only buy one because we got.
Well, remember, you don't have to spend momentum to get additional die. You can spend, in this instance, if you wanted 3 dice, you could spend 1 threat and 2 momentum. You could spend 2 threat and 1 momentum. Or you could give me 3 threat for the 2 additional dice.
I've given you enough threat already. What we have anyway. We're giving you what, a few. So let's. Oops, I'm stealing something. Oops.
It's okay.
I'm just trying to get rid of it. I'll be spending one momentum and get an extra dice. And
Okay.
I've got an assist, so
Yep, Solaris, you're rolling the same thing, presence
I'm
engineering,
ready.
and remember, an assist is 1 die.
Yep. You got any focuses you can use, Thriller?
for talking with people, no.
All right.
That's why I love that he's the one doing this.
Yep.
Oh man.
But I actually know about stuff I can reverse engineer it, but right now, no. So
Mm.
3 dice. No focuses at all. Boom. 2.
All right, there's 2.
All right. And I do have a focus of negotiation.
Would apply. There you go.
Hey.
2 extra successes, getting you your momentum right back.
And
So,
roll your
uh,
untapped potential.
Yep, untapped potential. Good call.
1 or 2?
It's Thriller
It'll be me
rolling this
rolling
one, and Thriller, it's 1
One.
challenge dice here.
Oh.
All right, no additional momentum. So Galatrium kind of actually stops what they're doing and pulls their arm out and chitters to, kind of does a chittering motion to turn to look at you all proper and goes, "Well, you know what? It's been a while since someone's actually stood up to me. I appreciate your gumption, Starfleet. You may no longer be Captain Obvious. Lieutenant, something. No, sorry, you said you were an ensign. I don't have any good e-puns, so I guess I'll just have to call you by your name. Anyways, and he looks over at Solaris. I didn't get your name.
Ensign Solaris, sir.
Well, see, that's easy to remember. Why couldn't you have an easy name like that?
What can we do to
What's
help
your
you,
name
sir?
again?
My name's Galatrium.
Galatrium. I'll try to remember that.
See, it's good to have rapport like this. I actually grew up on a Tellarite colony, so I don't know how much you guys have I don't know how much you all have interfaced with Tellarites before, but they love their arguments.
My best friend was a Tellarite. Oh, she was awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyways, the graph plating.
arguments.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's gone to shit to not paint it over. It's gone to shit.
Yeah.
Best we can tell is that something happened with that whole goo monster thing, and apparently the control systems have knocked most of the control panels offline, and that requires not only replacing the control panels, but it also requires a full reboot of each grav panel. And he motions around at all of the walls. Each wall, at least in these in the wards, each one has its own independent panel. So, I mean, doing the math here, you're looking at easily about 20, 30 panels per room. And that's not accounting for things like main engineering, where there's hundreds of panels.
I swear in this way.
Is there a means where we could put them all synced together?
Well, I think that was actually the problem the first time, is that when something happened to the master switch, quote unquote, it basically cascaded and interrupted everything else, thus necessitating a very tedious and monotonous repair kind of requirement.
Where is the master control, as you quote unquote say? We could try to patch it up.
Well, that's currently located in main engineering.
Is anyone trying to patch it up right now?
Oh, we have most of the team there. I'm one of 4 engineers that's going around making sure that the wards are somewhat repaired.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to communicate with Keela.
So let's cut to Keela then. So Keela, when you float into main engineering, what you're going to notice here is that the hexagon sort of walls have now become just triangles. So it's not so much a ball of hexagons as it is now a ball of triangles. Almost like Epcot. If you know what Epcot looks like, it's kind of that same thing. But when you're looking around, what immediately stands out to you is that coming out of the wall immediately in front of you, because you're floating in about mid-level because 3D space is weird sometimes. So you float in mid-level. On the wall directly in front of you, there is the warp core. Now, the warp core on a Tholian ship we've never actually seen on a TV show or in comics or whatever. So I'm flavoring it more as kind of this hexagonal, because everything with Tholians is either hexagonal or triangles. It's kind of this hexagonal, not sphere, but almost like a football, if you can imagine that. And it's about the size of a shuttlecraft, and it's glowing with a pulsating orange light. And it's actually got a very nice hum to it. Not quite as soothing as a Starfleet warp core, but soothing all the same. But what you notice is that the EPS conduits are basically the tubes that come off of the warp core that then feed the energy out into other parts of the ship. Those go to 8 different points in this room. So kind of as you're floating around the space, if you imagine almost a spider web of conduits coming off the warp core. But what's probably most important, because you're here to fix the grav plating, is that clustered around one of the walls to your upper left is a gaggle of about... That's actually a good question. Is a Tholian group a gaggle? Or anyway, is a gaggle of Tholians, and they are currently clustered around what looks to be a burnt-out section of paneling and circuitry, we'll say about 20 meters from where the warp core is currently.
Okay. Keela will float in, and she'll kind of announce herself, hello, I'm here to help. Engineer here.
So one of the engineer Tholians, a yellow one, is going to turn and look at you and goes, "Oh yes, hello, my name is Chidian, and I understand you're obviously with Starfleet in that getup. How much do you know about grav plating?"
Yes, show me.
All right.
And she'll kind of kick off and bring herself over.
Yeah, they kind of motion for you to come over, and as you're floating there looking at this grav plating, I would like you to roll me a insight engineering, difficulty of 3.
Engineering. Now, I have a talent that I was reading before session. Whenever you attempt a task to determine the source of a technical problem with your ship, add 1 bonus d20.
Okay, that'll definitely give you a 3rd die.
Nice.
So 3
Sounds
dice,
that.
and no, I know my ship.
Nice.
And then I have starship construction as a focus.
Would apply as a focus. Do you want to spend any momentum?
I think I will spend 1 if you guys don't mind.
It would be 2 because it's technically buying a 4th die.
Right, okay.
Take it.
Yeah? Okay. I gotta restart.
We'll just say that hopefully you got the message from Solaris about what they had learned, and so you have a little more information.
Well, this is happening before that, actually. So you're going to call in a moment. Yeah.
So it's insight. What was it again? Insight engineering?
Yep, you got it.
So yeah, okay. Engineering. So I'm rolling 4 dice with a focus.
All right. 2 successes. Do you have cautious engineering by chance?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Tell you what.
I'm escaping avoidance.
Don't think that would help. As funny as it would be, I don't think it would help. Let me check those zeros real quick. Okay, one of those zeros is a complication, because remember, there is that complication from earlier that 18 to 20 is the magic number here.
Oh, no.
So, do you want to determination this? Because remember, you can, if you can tie it to a value, you can use determination to reroll as many dice as you wish.
I can use one. I have puzzle agent. It must be solved.
Okay. So how many dice do you wish to reroll?
I reroll the zeros.
Okay, that'll be 2.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I can reroll as many dice. It doesn't matter what I rolled. Is that how it works?
You can.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So basically, the reason I say it that way rather than saying just reroll the zeros is sometimes when you have a high engineering or a high whatever with a focus, you try to crit fish. If you're following me.
Oh, okay. So, but the rule is I could reroll anything.
Correct.
That's
yes.
how it works.
With
Okay.
the caveat being that even if it's a worse roll, you have to take the final roll's results.
Okay, I'll just reroll the zeros.
Okay.
So do I just roll 2d20 or?
Yep.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's yeah.
Zap.
So you look at the graph plating and you go, "Yep, that's graph plating." Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the Tholians just collectively, they all turn to look at you very slowly and go, "This is the best Starfleet has to offer?"
Look, sir, people, I don't know your names. Forgive me.
Well,
This is my first.
I'm Shatine, and that's
You're
Slatine, and
Satine, okay. And she's like mentally recording this in her head.
How's that spelled?
How's that spell? She'd be like,
Write this down.
I am just an ensign. Let's be clear here, okay? And I haven't been on a Tholian ship, so it's a little bit foreign to me. So like, let's learn together. You guys already know it though, so it's more like teaching me, which actually isn't that good because then that's going to take away from you doing your job and she's going to ramble a little bit.
it's midway through this ramble, you get your chirp from Solaris.
Keela here.
Hey, so we have a little bit more insight onto what exactly is going on with all the grav plating. It seems that the central master control basically is down in engineering. If you've reached down there yet. After that, it just kind of cascaded throughout the rest of the ship. So potentially, if you could patch it up, it could hopefully fix the rest of the ship.
Noted. Thank you for the information.
Copy that.
So Keela will turn to her Tholian friends, and she'll be like, "Is this the master control that caused the ripple break?"
They just stare at you. They just stare with their Tholian eyes that just sort of glow in their heads. They just sort of stare at you.
Keela's staring right back.
Prolonged eye contact.
Do you want me to help? Do you want no help? Because if I'm not here, that means zero help.
Yes, this is the master control unit, or what remains of it.
So, so is it like completely charred, or what exactly is wrong? Like visually?
Out of character, what is actually wrong with it is, remember how I said that when you were repairing the grav plating back in your Jeffries tubes, there were 4 wires that are grossly simplified here. But again, to keep things interesting and easy, you're looking at about 20 wires, and you have no idea what to even call half the colors.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So
you have, like, a
all-
Crayola box of, like, 64 crayons, and you're, like, holding up the crayons like, no, that's not the right yellow. Hold on.
No, I've seen this episode of Star Trek before. There's only 4. There are 4 wires.
You may have one momentum. You may have
Yes.
Is this Purple Mountain's Majesty or Lavender? Is this Timberwolf?
Okay, so, but I don't know how to fix the problem, right? Because of the complications.
I would say that you've already, roleplay-wise, given yourself the complications that the Tholians don't think you're all that bright.
Oh
Oh,
no.
no.
That's a
No.
personality, man.
No aha moment yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Let me come and talk to them in my.
so she's gonna like look at it. So it's basically wires disconnected, or it's just they're just a mess.
They're a mess. Actually, Connie, you remember that necklace you were playing with before the stream?
Yes.
Very
Yes.
similar to that, where it's just a tangle of wires, and you do. Yeah, I would say show it for everybody, show it for the class. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
It's
for those
big.
who may not be able to see a screen right now, it's basically a necklace she has that there's different lengths of parts of the necklace, so that when it's untangled, it dangles at different heights. It's kind of like a lanyard that's kind of been picked apart, or not even lanyard, but. Anyway, point being, it's a mess. It's like a ball / tangle weave of these wires, and you kind of look at it and going, where do I start?
Okay, so she's gonna turn to her companions here, Chidian, and she'll be like, "So, if I untangle this, can that expedite?" Okay, wait, no, that's not how she wants to word it. That sounds stupid.
Technobabble.
Remember, there is a technobabble button. You can
Press
put
We
it.
gotta find the button.
Press it, press it, press it.
So
Yeah.
if I untangle and refocus the tertiary thermionic flux stabilizer, we could can we then cascade the solution the same way the problem was caused?
And the Tholians kind of look at one another, then back at you, then back at themselves, and then back to you. And Slatine kind of looks at you and goes, "They should put that's actually kind of an ingenious solution. Only the problem is that we've tried that, or at least we've tried to fix the ball of problems," motioning at the theoretical ball. Every time we try, we just cause another cascade. So we have to disconnect the unit, and then we have to fix it, but then we have to activate it in a way that it doesn't cascade back in on itself. You following me so far? Yeah, that's kind of where we're stuck right now, because every time we try to fix it, it just unfixes itself when we power it back up.
And you don't know the reason why it's
No, if we
causing
knew
itself
that,
to power
we'd
down.
be able to knock it out all at once.
Okay. So, what if we take it one process step at a time? So let's disconnect it, unravel and refocus, the shenanigans, and then because maybe at that point we can rescan and find the problem. We may not be able to scan step 3 because we haven't done step 1 and 2.
Fair enough. Now, for sake of argument at this point, just to check in on Solaris and Thriller, would you guys have stayed with Galatrium in the ward, or would you have, at this point, journeyed to main engineering?
Probably go to main engineering.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're saying this, Keela, that's where Solaris and Thriller sort of float into main engineering. And
you'll see visually the Tholians are facing one direction and Keela's actually upside down to them, but still speaking as if nothing's out of the ordinary.
As you do.
As you do.
Actually, on a Tholian ship, that's probably about right, because again, they use all surfaces. So
That used to it.
She's blending right in.
Perfect.
Nice.
But yeah, as you say
Right.
that, Keela, I think Chidian kind of goes, well, now that your friends from Starfleet are here, if you want to take this section, we'll scan this section, and maybe we can track down where the problem is.
Sounds like a plan, Stan. And then she'll start doing her thing.
All right. Keela, I want you to roll me a insight engineering difficulty of 4, and you may have one person assist you.
Can I use the momentum, guys?
Yeah.
The engineering. 3d20.
Who do you want to help?
Who has higher insight engineering?
Mine's pretty good. Not my
And then
highest, but
What are
I
your
got a 10 and
structure
4.
focus?
Got an insight of 11, engineering 4.
I think you might be the winner then, Solaris.
Yeah.
And then I'll use my starship construction focus.
Would apply, yeah. All right, there's 3. Good start.
Insight engineering, 1 dice, observation focus. Ugh.
Ooh. Ooh. All right, I'll let it succeed,
Let
but there's going to
Thriller.
be... Here, I'll offer you a deal. I'll let it succeed, but there's going to be 2 complications on the field.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. So, you find the problem. The problem is not a coffee cup, but it's the Tholian equivalent thereof.
Jeez.
I'm finding this?
Well, with Solaris's keen eye, yes. Because Solaris apparently has an extrasensory sense for anything that resembles a coffee cup.
And Keela will hold it, and she'll be like, "What is this?"
And Solaris is going to look over and be like,
That would be why is there a coffee cup there?
"Are you
Exactly.
okay?"
Why is there a coffee cup there?
So that's-
I thought it was just our ship.
That's the complication number 1. Complication 2 is as you are having this moment, an alarm begins to sound. And the Tholians quickly look to panels, look at their arms where they've got little readouts, and they say, "Oh dear, it appears that Ward 3 is having a firefight right now." All right, now that you've found the coffee cup which was causing all the problems, we need somebody to go down to Ward 3 and get those patients under control and grav plating unlocked. Are you all trained in zero-G combat?
Yeah.
No.
Sure.
Keela has handheld weapons, so she should probably go.
Well, and at this point, you know, they're looking at Thriller specifically. I mean, you look like you're good with a phaser.
Oh no.
Oh,
No,
that's why
I'm
I
good
looked
at I'm good at this.
Well, maybe you could fix the grav plating while the other two, looking at Solaris and Keela, why they handle the patients.
All right.
Can
Yeah,
you
that's
solve this here? You got it
Well,
here?
yeah, now that you've figured out where the problem was, yeah.
Wait, did we have our aha moment?
Yes, I'll give you your aha moment for finding
When
the
that
coffee cup.
happened, then the music started playing. Take on me, take on
got
me.
me.
Okay,
Nice.
that was all I wanted.
All right.
This is all we can do for copyright reasons.
Yeah, I was gonna say DMC is.
My FBI agent's like,
What are you doing? Are you playing DMC music? How dare you?
how dare you play aha?
All right. So when well, let me ask this, because again, you know there's a firefight in Ward 3, and when you actually float to the door, you hear the sounds of energy weapons inside. You hear shouting. You hear things being thrown, or at least impacting the sides of walls. How do you want to approach this situation?
Before we left engineering, Keela would have unhooked TM because she's not gonna bring TM's not at a level where TM can be amazing in a firefight quite yet. So she would have latched TM and hooked wordlessly hooked TM to Chidian and then like turned and left. So then are there any windows to the door?
No, unfortunately, there are no windows in here.
So she probably would like creak the door open. She's got her phaser ready and kind of like peek in to see how chaotic it is.
So,
Like, how did they even get weapons in here?
Right?
well, that's what I'm going to say. So it looks like that compared to, say, Ward 7, which Solaris and Thriller have, seen already, how to put this properly? The restraints for the Tholians, or at least their former restraints, are a lot more beefy, and it looks like they had actual security here on staff just in case things got out of hand. So it looks like you see a few unconscious Tholians that are sort of drifting lazily towards one of the far walls. But what you're seeing is that what you can only assume are mental patients are sort of waving about these stun batons that are crackling with electricity. And every once in a while, they'll sort of thrust out the baton, and a jolt of electricity will impact a nearby wall, or if they're trying to shoot one of the remaining security people that are hiding behind a piece of equipment. But to keep it in mind, this is a zero-G combat, and this is happening at all different angles. So it's hectic. It's a little weird to even conceptualize, but if you're following me so far, it's a very interesting scenario if you can conceptualize it.
Extreme laser tag.
Exactly.
So Keela will like kind of look back and she'll be like, they're everywhere.
I can
Or-
make
And
Peeking in
Solaris
the
had
door.
already like slid the sunglasses or slid the whatever these are, and pulled the phaser and was like, "You ready?"
Yeah.
I might have an idea.
Okay.
If we could, I might like. I've got a theory.
Okay.
I want to test it. Yeah,
Did
talents.
we? I guess did we convey this to you back in
Talents.
engineering?
No, Thriller came with
Yeah.
you, I think.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I
Oh, I
did.
thought you stayed behind to work on the.
No, I got told I had to work on the gravity plating in that room.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to work on the gravity plating, but it doesn't necessarily mean we had to put it back
Gotcha.
to the correct gravity.
Fair.
I know that there's a structure thing, but we can make it so it's a little bit harder for them to move. If I can do I might be able to find and isolate this room and try to do that cascade idea for all the gravity plating just in this room.
Okay.
And get that sort of going, but at a level that's slightly higher, so that and maybe even be able to change it just in case I want them to, go to the roof all of a sudden.
Sure. How will that affect us?
Don't go in the room.
Okay.
Or when I tell you, get out of the room.
Sounds great. I
We
like it.
have our magnetic boots. Would that would protect us, right?
That will protect
Good.
you from moving around, but the gravity will still affect you. You do not want to be in a room that has maybe 2 to 3 times the normal gravity.
Okay.
You'll still survive, maybe. Yeah,
Maybe.
probably.
Will they
Yeah, well-
survive? We can't kill them.
No. But I'm going to adjust it so it's for their their
Anatomy.
anatomy, and they're a bit tougher than us in terms of that. But also, they're very delicate if they get anything. I know how delicate they can be as well, so I'm going to be good at this. So
You'll
just
do
keep them
great.
distracted. Don't let them hit me.
All right.
I hate being hit.
Did you say distraction? And then Keela's gonna go in.
So that we all have sort of a quote-unquote picture of where things are. Immediately when you enter in, the grav plating you need to get to, Thriller, is to your right by 1 panel. So it's kind of like what you all have in your background right now with the Tholians. If you're coming in where that door is, to your right, so let me actually draw on the map here. So you're coming in here, and well, it would help if I drew on the right layer.
Yeah, I was like, where is it?
You're coming in here through this door,
Okay.
and this panel over here in green is
Okay.
where you need to get to the grav plating.
Excellent.
And just to give sort of a picture of where the Tholians are, there's one there, there's 2 here,
Everywhere.
there's one up here, there's one here. They're basically everywhere.
Excellent.
For those listening and also viewing, because you can't see this, it's got some very nice art.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very
Of the
beautiful.
background image that we
Like,
have back behind us.
Tholian is here, some here. This is where we came in.
This
This
object
is where he
behind
needs
my
to go.
Yeah, this
There's one up
subject
here. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Alright.
since I don't think no, I guess our first episode there was a little bit of combat, but as a reminder, the way combat works is basically it goes player, enemy, until everybody's gone. So as players, you do get to act first. So which among you wishes to act first? I think it's probably Keela, but I still want to
Yeah.
ask just to be sure.
Yeah, she went in first.
All right. So Keela, you're going to go in first. What is it you wish to do?
So she would have walked in the door and then
Oh, oops.
raised her feet on the wall and launched herself across the room opposite where the panel they need to get to fix the thing.
Okay.
Screaming the entire way. And then she'll land on the other wall, activate her boots, and stay there. And then she'll aim for, we'll say one of these Tholians on the far right.
All right, okay. So what I'm going to say is that your movement is going to take up your minor action, so you're not going to get the actual benefits of an aim. But if you want to roll me a control security difficulty of 2 here, and if you have handheld energy weapons as a focus, definitely applies.
Which I do.
All right, 3 successes, meaning you get a momentum back. Go ahead and roll your damage, which for you, I believe, is 6 challenge dice.
Ooh,
5.
very nice.
With 3 effects.
Mhm.
So yeah, with 5 and 3 effects, what I'm going to say is that, yeah, you hit one of the Tholians, dealing enough damage to literally stun them. So they are now, well, I guess the force of the energy strike would push them towards a wall and they'll bounce off against it, but they're unconscious, basically. Not permanently or
one.
harmfully, they're just Star Trek stunned is what I'm getting at.
Mhm.
All right. So, it's now going to be the enemy's turn, and since you just came in Rambo style, I think they're going to point their weapons at you. So, I'm going to give this Tholian here an additional die, and let's see what they get. That is enough, actually, with that third die. So, again, they're going to thrust kind of that electric baton towards you, and a spark of lightning is going to come flying out at you. And it's going to do a grand total of 3 damage or 3 stress, but your EV suit provides a natural 2, so you just take 1 stress.
Nice.
Nice.
And now it is the players again. So Thriller, Solaris, which one of you would like to go next?
Should I go and then you do the attack? And
No druthers. Go
all
ahead.
right, I'll go. I'll go to the device, and I have 2 talents that work well together. Testing a theory. So when I've made a successful roll from a previous task of the same type, I get an extra D20. And a test theory into practice. So when I attempt a task using science and engineering with my additional D20 from the testing a theory talent, I reduce the difficulty of the task by 1.
Well, that's good,
To a
because it
minimum.
was a difficulty of 5. It's now a 4.
Nice. Wow.
Use the momentum!
You probably want to even maybe spend determination on this one.
I would
Okay.
spend determination, yeah.
Yeah, I probably will. Okay. I understand machines better than people.
Yeah. So do you want to use that for the 2 free successes to start with?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to buy any additional dice?
Yeah, I'll buy 1.
All right. So buying 1 will cost you 2 momentum.
Okay.
So you're rolling 3, but you have a die that's already rolled a 1, so you already have 2 successes on the board.
Okay. So am I rolling 4 then? Because I buy another dice?
Nah,
Or do I
you're rolling 3.
roll 3? Okay.
Yeah. The 4th
So I
die is already, and that's kind of where people get tripped up. The 4th die is technically a 1 because you've already rolled it with determination, if you're following me.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Automatic one. So are we
Alright.
spending momentum? I missed that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm using both.
Both okay.
Sorry.
No,
I'll
it's
try to
fine.
get 'em
I was
back.
distracted.
It's all good.
So,
You got
so
this.
If you succeed, roll your untapped potential.
what is it? Is it daring?
It is daring engineering indeed, yep.
And I have reverse engineering, computers, transposers, replicators.
I'll give you reverse engineering.
Excellent. So 3 dice. And applicable forces. Boom. Woo!
That is
Nice.
7 successes overall, so you get 3 momentum back.
Wow.
Roll your
Thriller,
untapped
why
potential.
don't you narrate your success here? Because I think I could do it justice, but I think you're probably going to do it even better.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget your untapped potential.
I did.
You
Oh,
just
you
I-
did it? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get anything. All right. So I'll go over there. The theory was I could like do a cascade of this whole room from this central point. So I did so going over there, go there, see it, say, okay, this is similar to this technology and this one here. So I'm going to do some technical babble. If I nullify the trifold Nadian interface, I can then get the discriminator to focus the backup resonating polarizing dampener. So I do that, and so I've set it up. It's ready to go. I've set it up so it connects to my tricorder. So I can just press this button and adjust the gravity how I want and which direction it is. So I just now need to tell you guys to get out of Dodge, and then I can use it.
Now, what I'm going to tell you is, while speaking is generally a free action, that entire fixing the panel is going to be your action for this round.
I understand that. I thought that in first. Yes.
All right. So I think they're going to go for Keela. When it comes to the enemies again, I think they're going to go for Keela. So I'll give him a threat. Why not? Let's keep things sporting. That's enough. All right. So how much did I roll before? 4. So Keela, you're going to take 2 stress this time, as you get hit by another jolt of lightning. And you know, it's kind of I don't know how much you've played with electricity as a kid or as an adult, but it's kind of like a small shock. It's not quite taser levels. It's not quite finger and socket levels. It's nothing bad. It's just kind of like a shock, and you're even feeling it through the suit, and you're like, yeah, I don't like this.
It's electrifying.
There you go. Nice. But it is now Solaris' turn. And Solaris, you're still outside the room at this point.
She just watched all this happen, like, wow. Well, I mean, I guess Thriller hasn't fixed it yet, per se. He just knows how to fix it.
No, he's fixed it.
done it.
Okay,
You don't know that.
Yeah, he hasn't said anything, though. He hasn't said anything. He's been
hasn't-
laser focused on fixing it.
Oh my god! So once I walk in, I'm just gonna.
But yeah, if he hits the button, yeah.
He hasn't done anything yet.
Okay, well, since she doesn't know that this has happened, fun times. Doesn't work if I. Excellent, cool. So she's gonna make her way to try to. Okay, sorry. First, are any of the restraints floating around, or are they still connected to? Okay. I'm gonna try to snag one of those. I'm gonna try to restrain this one here on the ceiling.
Okay. Let me see. What are we gonna call this roll? Why don't we call it a daring and security? Difficulty of. Let's do difficulty of 1, and we'll make it opposed. So I'll roll first, just so you know how much you have to succeed.
Okay.
They've rolled 2 complications, so don't roll 2 complications and you succeed.
I'm trying to see if I have a focus for this.
If you have hand-to-hand combat, if you have
Negotiation.
if you have aggressive
Negotiations
negotiation,
were
I'd give it
short,
to
Amanda
you.
Baker. I'm sorry, what?
If you had aggressive negotiation, I'd give you negotiation, but
Well, I mean, didn't my negotiations have to deal with Klingons? So
true. All right, I'll give it to you. Why not?
yeah.
That's negotiations.
Listen, you weren't there. Okay, so I'm rolling how many? Just
At the moment, just 2.
just two.
All right, that's your one
Yeah.
success you need.
Oh, that's
So, how do you want to describe taking this Tholian and restraining them?
I'm gonna since there's probably debris and stuff floating around still, she's going to make her way up to something and kind of, dare I say, like Dukes of Hazzard style, snag something and like slide over the debris and kind of just restrain the being. Hopefully, I'm not quite sure what that entails. I don't know if that's like getting the restraint around their person or just
I got you. So you Dukes of Hazzard slide over this piece of equipment, and because again it's 0G, it looks cool, but then there's a moment where you're like floating through the air and you're like holding the restraint ready to go. Then you hit, and it's almost like a straitjacket where you just sort of slap it on the Tholian, and it like one of those snap bands that goes in your wrists. It just snaps around the Tholian and cocoons them, and now they're just sort of floating off into the air, making angry chittering noises.
I love it.
Now, one thing I forgot to do, and we'll make up for the security forces that are still here. The security forces are going to be rolling to see how much they're assisting. So here's security guy 1. He fails. Security guy 2 also fails. Okay, security is useless. Who knew? At this
Maybe
point,
they're
Shocker.
I see what you did there. I think there's 2 enemy Tholians left, so I'm going to roll for them. I'm going to give them an additional die. Not that I really think they can hurt you all, but you never know. He's rolled a complication, so he's going to shoot his buddy, and the other guy misses completely. So let me roll those challenge die to see if he knocks out his buddy, because I think it would be funny Not quite. So
Aw.
one of the Tholians goes to jab with the lightning spear, and when that happens, one of the debris that you hit on the way to restrain the Tholian C4A, one of the boxes just kind of knocks him and kind of jolts into the side, and he hits his buddy, and that causes his buddy to jolt, and his misses completely.
Okay.
And they kind of scream at each other in Tholian, which is kind of like nails on a chalkboard, but electronic and insectoid, so it's not exactly a pleasant sound.
These are swears. Write them down. Write this down. We'll add it to our
But with
whiteboard.
that, it is a
Whiteboard.
new round. The players can act now, and again, can be in any order.
Hello.
We should get out of here.
They'll be like, "Ah!"
All right, I'm gonna say I am done. Get your grab boots on or get out of here. 'Cause I'm just gonna turn the gravity up so that they're stuck to the ceiling and they can't go on the sides.
So, should we leave or are we good to stay in here?
Either or, I'm just gonna use normal gravity. I think we can deal with the situation.
Should we get the security personnel out of here, or are they going to be okay?
Eh. All right, I'll try to get a security guy out.
Just a question.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Where
Hey, what,
are the
honestly-
security
Yeah.
guards on the map?
Yeah, where are they?
Yeah, well, that's kind of with the angle we have right now. There's not really a good way to circle them, but if we're looking head on at the image, they're behind you, where the back of your skull, that wall there.
Oh,
Okay, they're away from the
well,
door.
dang.
So they're Tequila's right. Okay.
Yeah, so she's closest.
Mhm.
So, okay, sorry, you're gonna say something. No, okay. So Keela she has her boots on, so she's walking on the wall. So, and there's two
There's two of them. Yeah.
security.
Oh.
Okay, so Keela is going to holster her phaser, and she's going to grab the scruffs of each Tholian, and she's going to deactivate her boots and launch off the wall to the door.
All right.
With
Go ahead and
them.
give me a fitness security. I'd even give you fitness con if you want to do fitness con.
My security's better.
Because you have the security.
I have the security.
I'm,
Escape and avoidance.
I'll give you escape and avoidance, but I'm going to make the difficulty here 4 with threat.
No secure.
Because again, you got to launch to them, you got to grab them, and then launch back. So that's where the difficulty's coming in, is grabbing them and launching in a correct direction is where the tricky part is.
Right. Okay.
We have 3 momentum.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
free
use
momentum.
one. I'm gonna use one. So rolling 3 dice. Focus.
That is the successes you need. Congrats. So yeah, Keela, you grab the 2 Tholian security guards, you launch towards the door, you get... Oh, hey, I get a threat. You get through to the other side, and at this point, that part of the ship has been restored to correct gravity, so you actually emerge into correct gravity, and you kind of, land, and the security guards kind of turn around and yell at Solaris and Thriller, "Get out of there!"
There's a bomb gonna go off.
Right?
Well, you basically kind of came up to them like, we gotta go.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's go.
But it is now the enemy's turn, and I think I'm only gonna get the 1 attack here unless I spend threat. Yeah, I'll spend threat. Why not? All right, so there's gonna be 2 attacks. Both are gonna get an additional D20 with my last threat. And let's see how they do. I'm not expecting amazing things, but you never know. All right, well, that's a success and a complication. And that is a success. All right, so first one
Not gonna do well.
is Thriller. You're going to take 1 damage. But what's going to happen is, as the Tholian lightning shocks you with its spear, it's going to overload and shock the Tholian as well. So the Tholian's going to take some damage, some stress. And then the other one is going for Keela. And Keela, you're going to take
Solaris?
4 stress
Solaris?
damage.
Solaris?
Or, sorry, Solaris. Yeah.
Oh.
Keela's just too much of a
Oh, no.
target.
Yeah,
was
I was,
very
just,
fun.
I was just like, somehow they made it outside. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you hit me on the way across the
4
room?
stress. Oh my
4
gosh.
stress.
It would have been troublesome if it was 5, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm debating whether to spend it. I don't have any threat. That's the problem. If I kept 1 threat, I could have made it 5, but I don't have any threats. So, all right. So yeah, it comes back to the players.
Ow.
Yeah.
You get out.
I'm trying to think of a song that has to do with being shocked. I've already used 2 of them.
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame. You give love a bad name.
Sure.
I think it fits the pace of the action
That's
sequence.
fair. Staying alive. Staying alive.
There you go.
Ha, ha. Okay.
Coming
so,
CPR, are we?
yeah, well, not yet. All right. So, yeah, gonna make my way downtown, walking fast, faces past. I'm homebound.
All right. Give me a fitness con difficulty of 2 to get
That is
over to the door.
That is a joke. Oh, no.
I believe in you.
I don't. All right. I believe that you believe in me.
That's right. If you don't believe in you, believe in the me that believes in you.
God, if I'm going to do that, I'm screwed.
I have no focuses for
No, you
that.
don't.
Oh, no.
Oh man.
R.I.P. All right.
You do have momentum.
Yeah, but I just clicked.
I use it. Use 1.
Do I have 1? Yeah, please give me 1.
Leave 1 for me.
Yeah,
Otherwise
right?
I
Leave one
threat.
for- Well, each use one.
Fitness con. Back to that. 3 dice. Take it away. No focus. Oy.
All right. I'll offer it with a complication.
Whack into the door.
Yeah. In fact, that's what's going to happen is you get to the door.
We're playing a game of whack F.
Yeah. You get to the door, Solaris, but you impact the side of it. You don't get through the threshold. You just impact the side of it. It's like a not like a wet smack, but it's kind of just a whack.
Oh.
Oh. 1 more stress and she's done. That's it. She did it.
Oh, jeez. You okay?
Ow.
Can Keela like drag her out?
Yeah, I
of
was
the
gonna
room?
say it's more of an insult to your pride than it is an actual injury. It's
That's
just
fine.
Fuck it off.
Keela
Yeah.
like just reaches in, just grabs both of her wrists, just pulls her out, and then she
But
flops
did
because
I-
it's gravity.
That's
Right,
like,
but
that is
did
squeaking
I
alongside.
die?
oh Lord. All right.
Human
Well,
squeegee.
squeegee. There you go. There's
It's really
the-
shiny there now.
Shiny.
Oh my Lord. All right. Well, Thriller. There's only 1 Tholian enemy left on the field. I don't have any momentum, so they're just gonna roll straight. I mean, they can't roll 2 1s, right? Okay, they are still going to hit you apparently. How do you feel about 1 more stress of damage?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm annoyed now.
Didn't sorry, I'm backtracking. Didn't our suit take 1 of the damage?
It takes 2 off, and I already accounted that when I gave you the damage because they
Oh,
rolled
dang.
6, so it
Oh,
took off
okay.
2. So yeah, you only took 4.
Oh, all right. Solaris just could have died right then and there.
Nah, yeah.
So yeah, Thriller,
Yeah.
it's
All
now
right.
your turn.
That's rough,
Oh,
buddy.
all right. Now I'm gonna see if I'm angry enough to just like forget about this and punch him or leave. I'm gonna roll dice. If I roll an effect, I'm punching him.
Look,
Okay.
be a lady tonight.
Nope, I'm leaving.
All right,
Right.
fitness con difficulty 2. Let's see you do it.
Use
Oh,
that
no.
momentum, my man.
Use the
Yeah,
momentum.
I'm using the momentum.
Don't do what I did.
Don't whack into the wall.
What about you, Wackus Bonkus?
I have no applicable focuses unless Starfleet Protocol somehow becomes one, but I doubt it. It's a protocol to get out
Protocol
of the
said
room.
GTFO.
Yeah. Whoa, boy!
You gonna drag him out too?
ELH
For
doesn't
some
know what
reason,
to
the door
say.
closes when I get to it. Boom!
ELH is like wordless.
ELH is like, huh? Alright.
I got an idea.
Hmm.
So, for some reason, the door closes. I hit the door. head on, but I accidentally pressed the button and it would go gravity up and just me and him go up into the ceiling.
I think that's what happens. Yep, that's exactly what happens. So the door slams in front of Keelan Solaris. You hear a boom as he hits the door, and then another boom as he hits the ceiling as he activates the gravity.
Stairway to heaven? That's the song, right?
That's not what I was singing.
As
but
the
yes.
body hits the floor.
There you go. Hot take. Raining Men and Bodies Hit the Floor are the same song with two different perspectives.
We broke Keelan.
Yeah, whenever I make him laugh, that's a successful game for me.
All right, well, I guess we're still in combat because you missed the door. So it's the round of combat. The Tholian that you shot at, or no, I guess you haven't shot at anybody. Okay, well, one of the Tholian's gonna shoot at you, I think. No, it won't. It'll miss.
All right,
It's now
I'm gonna
your
punch
turn
him.
again.
I'm gonna
I
punch
can
him.
say that as a minor action, you can turn off the gravity to make it 0G again. But if you try to get to the door with current gravity, you're looking at a difficulty of 3 fitness con. If you turn off the gravity, it's back to a difficulty of 2.
All right, can I punch him? But as soon as I punch him, I turn gravity the other direction.
I mean, you're also going to go the other direction.
That's a good point. I'll turn gravity off.
Put your boots on.
Yeah,
Use
put
your
my boots. Is the ceiling magnetic?
It is now that you fixed it, quote unquote.
All right, I'm gonna punch him and turn gravity off with my magnet boots on.
Actually, I think I've got good flavor, but let's see you roll your fitness con,
All right.
difficulty of 2 first. And remember,
Fitness con
you
or is it
can
fitness
give
security?
me threat for additional die.
I'm punching him, so is it fitness con or fitness security?
Oh, okay. I see. I think I see the disconnect. So, do you want to use the momentum of the punch to push you away, rather than you pushing off, like, say, a surface towards the door?
I want to punch him and push him down, like with the gravity, and I stay up on the ceiling for now.
Okay. I thought that's where the confusion was. All right, I got you now.
He's staying in
Yeah,
place.
that's going to be a daring security and difficulty of 1, and it will be
a
opposed.
wily coyote through the floor.
I don't have much here, so let's see what happens. Do my Kirk punch. Oh, good.
And it rolled 1 success, so it actually is going to smack you.
I can see
So-
it now. Like I punch him, I go, boom,
In Mother Tholian,
and then I pat him.
we punch you.
And I try to back up, and then he punches me.
Yeah, pretty much. You're going to take 1 stress damage as it just sort of jabs at you with the lightning sort of shock prod, and you take
just
1 bit
one.
of shocking damage. Or stress
I
damage.
just put it.
All right,
Right.
well, at this point, it's just you and 3 Tholians, so one of them's already gone, so 2 more are going to kind of shock you, or at least try to anyway. This might be interesting. That one misses. That one does not. You're going to take 2 more stress. How much stress do you have remaining at this point?
Oh my god.
1.
Three.
There you go.
3? Okay. Well, the good news is that's the end of your... Well, no, I guess technically Keelan and Solaris, you would hear discharges, so you guys would get to act.
Out. Oh my god.
Yeah, you guys would get to act before we go to a new round. So do you 2 want to do anything, or...
We need to get him out of there.
I have an idea, but I'll do it my round. You can't get me out.
I'd
At the
like
ro-
to. Sorry. I was just gonna say, like, get the door open and aim at the Tholian. One of the
And since-
Tholians.
Since we have security on our side now,
Hmm.
have them help us aim.
I'll tell you what, with the Tholian security helping you, I'll give you the benefit of an aim, which will allow you to re-roll one of your d20 if you need to.
Okay.
All right. So, Keelan and Solaris, if you're both shooting with phasers, go ahead and give me a control security difficulty of 2 from each of you.
Control security. And I have handheld energy weapons as a focus.
I have observation.
I'll give you observation because you're trying not to hit thriller. How about that?
Okay.
There's 2 for Keela and 2 for Solaris. So yeah, go ahead and roll your damage here. For Keela, that's six challenge dice. For Solaris, that's 5. All right, that's 4. You need 1 more, Keela, to... All right, so Keela, you'd need 1 more stress to knock out a Tholian. Solaris, you'd need 2 more to knock out a Tholian. As a reminder, you can give me 1 threat, each of you, to re-roll those zeros if you so wished.
Did you say something about getting a free re-roll of 1 number earlier?
That's on your attack roll, unfortunately, not your damage roll.
Okay. Are we aiming at the same Tholian?
I'll say for sake of argument, you're probably aiming at different Tholians, unless you really just don't like one Tholian in particular.
And F that guy in particular.
Oh, do I want to... I kind of want to re-roll 1. I'll do it. I'll re-roll 1.
Okay. Just the 1? I mean, you could re-roll as many as you wanted.
Just
don't
I have to give you a threat per each one, right?
Nope, just 1 threat, and you can re-roll as much challenge dice as you want.
I'll re-roll 2 then.
Okay.
And I have to roll 3?
No, you have 3 at the moment, so if you just wanted to re-roll the zeros, you'd be re-rolling just 2.
Okay.
All right, there's your additional 1 you needed, Keela.
I'll give you 2.
No, just 1. Just 1 threat.
1 threat, and I re-roll 2.
To re-roll 2.
Correct, yes. I know it's confusing. I know.
We'll get it figured
Dang
out.
it.
All right, so... All right, I think I know
That's
how
1 more than he had before.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. I mean, they have stress tracks just like you guys, so... All right, so Keela, the Tholian you hit is going to go unconscious. Solaris, you're going to hit one of the Tholians. It's a good hit, but they're still... They push past the pain and are able to continue going.
Dang it.
Now it's a new round, and it is Thriller's go.
Get out of there.
All right. I press my badge. Emergency teleport.
Yeah, that worked. So, because I find it funny that you could have done that at any point during this entire time, you just beam away. You just beam away.
Keela enjoys anti-gravity too much to just beam out of the room.
Solaris is going to be like...
The whole time.
Okay.
And
Keela will just pat her shoulder.
Because I
And then
find
she's
it
like,
funny,
"Ow."
Galatrium is going to kind of wander up to all of you and goes, "Well, I see that Captain Obvious deserves a promotion. He now deserves to be called Admiral Apparent." Nobody?
You gave him a name. What about my name? Do I have
Solaris
a
is
name?
going to reach up and shut the door, or hit the panel to shut the door. Like, I'm assuming that she was on the ground the entire time for this, so
Mhm.
she's going to reach up
Just
and
shut
tap
it.
the door command.
All right. Well, long story short, you're able to regroup back on the Phoenix after this entire debacle. You tell Commander Baker everything that has transpired, and Baker is just sort of nodding along, taking a few notes on his pad in his office as you're, explaining what happened. And he goes, "So, one thing is not exactly clear to me. You said here in your report that you brought TM with you. I'm just curious why you brought TM with you."
He was an excellent addition to our collection, sir.
What do you mean, why did I bring TM on this mission?
I see what you did there, Solaris, by the way. I see what you did there. Baker just kind of looks at you all and goes, "Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, we needed something to use that dog EV suit, but I don't know, it just seems a little odd that you brought them along and they were just kind of a mascot."
Support dog, sir.
And Keela's gonna do this, like, a mascot? Excuse me?
Oh, I'm sorry, what would you
TM
call them?
TM at this point has become like an extension of her, right? It's like TM is a very important member of this crew, and without TM, you wouldn't realize how much would need to get done.
He was helping to supervise the other engineers on the Tholian ship, sir.
So do I need to give him a rank?
Yes.
Wouldn't hurt.
Baker puts down the
Keelan's
pad on
just-
his desk, steeples his fingers.
I'm like, Solaris is like, this is complete like bullshitting this. Like, it's just like,
Baker's gonna
Keelan's,
tap
like,
his
so
comm
upset.
badge. Captain, I need a judgment call here. I'm thinking of giving the dog a rank. You got a problem with me doing that? No, Captain. With my outrageous French accent that goes everywhere, I have no problem with this whatsoever. All right, thanks, Captain. All right, congrats, TM. You're now a lieutenant. That's right. You outranked everybody here. TM 's just like,
Honestly, sir, I think Admiral is actually a more appropriate rank.
I can't give him Admiralty. No. I give him Lieutenant, though. I give him Provisional Lieutenant. Mhm.
Alright.
And TM just does that
It's
dog
okay,
thing.
TM.
TM just does the barf.
Keela will look to TM and kind of like pet TM and say, like, it's okay. You'll always be an admiral to me.
He'll get there eventually.
Don't worry, TM. You'll learn to hate it just like I did.
You were an admiral?
Yeah, remember he got
Sorry.
promoted to Admiral Apparent.
Admiral Apparent. Mhm.
Oh yeah, okay. I forgot about that. Keela doesn't remember that though. She'll be like, what?
I was a lieutenant, lieutenant junior grade at one point, but yeah, let's go with the admiral.
There's a lot we
Right.
don't know.
Apparently.
Yeah.
With that, I think that's where we're going to end today's session. We got done what we needed to. And yeah, I think that actually worked really well.
Yeah.
It
That was good.
I was a little worried that we'd be short for time, but we're almost at 2 hours at this point, so I think that's a success. Let's talk scheduling before we turn off, so that way people on stream know when they can find you next. Could you guys do the 11th?
Yes.
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 Okay. All right, we're going to provisionally shoot for the 11th, same time, same place. But yeah, thank you so much to Twitch for coming out. I saw actually a few new people in first-time chatters, so thank you for coming out and having fun with us. Yeah, don't really have much to say because apparently my internet is derping, but thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.